Good evening, ShallowCross Sports Network. This is the Double A coming to you with another show. Uh, we're going we got a lot of things to unpack tonight. We're gonna look at what Tennessee's doing in football and talk a little bit about what the Tennessee basketball team is doing and how well they're doing. Uh, as far as making it through on the tournament, and then we're gonna look at the women's team. They're doing okay also, and men's baseball team is doing well also. So we're gonna talk a little bit about that and talk a little bit about recruiting and so forth, and then we're gonna look a little bit at what some other schools are doing in the state. But with that said, let's go out here and unpack what we're going to have for the show tonight. Starting with football, Tennessee is getting ready to start the second week of spring practice, and so far they're looking real good. The two offensive linemen that we picked up in the transfer portal are looking real well, and the freshman receivers are Jackson and Smith are looking like they're going to step in and play quite a bit this year. They'll have no other choice because we lost all those receivers last year. But of course, Staley, Matthews, and Brazel are leading the way for the receiver room. And Brazel's kind of taking over as the leader there. And then one of the reports coming out on the defensive line, Isaiah Campbell and the kid out of Ainsworth, I can't think his name right now, but they're looking like they're going to have to play in the rotation this year. Now, we have several people who are coming back from last year's defensive line. Of course, Joseph and Moy, they're going to be the leaders on that side of the football. And then, of course, David Sanders is playing real well at the right offensive tackle. He's gained about 25 pounds, and he's working hard to keep that position. Right now, he's running with the ones and the twos. And just looking at it, I think the progress is real well, and I think Tennessee is still out there getting interviews set up with players and actually visiting players when they can. They're trying to get players for 2026, and they're also going to look at some players for 2025 once the portal opens up again in April. And so that's what's going on with football. They also have numerous players coming in within the next couple of weeks for unofficial and official visits. And so we're just looking at that to see, and maybe in the next show I'll have that information for you as far as those players right there are concerned. But that's what's going on with football right now. The running backs are looking good. Bishop's looking good, and Lewis is looking good, and the running back we got from Duke, Star, he looks like he's going to be able to help us a lot. And then of course Morris out of Murfreesboro, he gained about 15-20 pounds, and he's looking like he's going to be able to help us as a freshman. So that gives us 4 players to work in and out of that offensive backfield in case someone gets hurt. Um, we have a couple of guys that we thought we were going to get. The wide receiver out of Georgia, Tristan, he went to LSU. I think his name. See what his name is. But he committed to LSU, and we thought we had a good chance of picking him up. But right now, Coach Barnes, even though they're still in the tournament playing, uh, they're still out there trying to get players to replace the 6 or 7 guys that we're going to lose this year. And it looks like we've got 3 commits in basketball right now. I think they picked up another point guard. I'm going to see if I can get that over there. But let me see here. It looks like Coach Barnes, they were able to pick up a 6-foot point guard from Richmond, Virginia, where he attended John Marshall High School this past season. He had transferred to John Marshall after 2 seasons at Lancaster, where he was the 2-time Virginia High School Class 1 State Player of the Year, where he won 2 state titles. And so he's a compact point guard who plays with more explosion than one might expect from a guard with his frame. And so he wants to come to Tennessee and get coached up by Coach Barnes. So just looking at him here, that's him with the ball right there. And yeah, he seems to be just what Tennessee needs. But he'll be replacing Zakai Ziegler. And so that's a good pickup for Tennessee. And we already picked up Mar Evans, who is I think he's a combo guard. And this is a little profile on him right there. He's a 4-star also, just like the other kid. But he is a combo guard. I think he's about 6'5", and he's a real good shooter. And he'll probably replace Gaines or Lanier's position. And so that's one of the guys they picked up. And then they picked up Dwayne Brown. He's a power forward. He's around 6'9", and he's out of the Alabama, I believe. Yeah, there he is right there. 6'9", 235. And He'll be able to replace one of the big men that we're losing, like Igor or either Don Stone Dunbar. He'll be able to come in there and play with those guys. Most of the uh, players, most of our big men, uh, Akpara, Estrella, and Phillips will be back. So Brown will give us four bigs. We probably need one more. Coach will probably go out there and pick up one more to play to be able to compete with those schools in the SEC. And then when you get to the tournament, as you can see, you got to have 4 or 5 bigs in order to play and be effective. And so let me see what they're saying about Brown. So they're getting a traditional old school big man in the 6'9", 235-pound range. This is the kind of prospect you can see Rick Barnes and his staff developing over the course of the couple seasons. Brown is a physical big man who won't dazzle you with athleticism, but he's a hard worker who is adept at using his size and strength to carve out space in the paint and move opposing players on both ends of the floor. So that's 3 commitments that they've picked up. That's 3 commitments. And then they're also looking at Chance Mallory, another 4-star player. And Tennessee has already had 5-star power forward Nate Amen. He's about 6'9" or 10, and they've had him in, and we don't know what the situation is with him, whether we're going to pick him up or not. And then Darius Adams is another shooting guard that he has Tennessee as one of his finalists. So that's just a little quick breakdown of what's going on with Tennessee men's basketball. Tennessee's women's basketball made it to the Sweet 16 also. They beat Ohio State, and they were a 5 seed. Ohio State was a 4 seed. And so that's a big win for Tennessee's women basketball. And of course, the men's baseball team is still rolling along. They dropped a couple of games, I think, to Florida, and then they dropped a game also to ETSU. And so, but they still rank number 1. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens on that. And then looking at just give you a brief update on some of the things going on with Tennessee's draft eligible players. Just looking at it and looking at what the experts are saying, James Pierce is falling slowly. He may be at the bottom of the first round in this year's draft. And they're saying character issues and things like that, but we just have to wait and see. I know on several draft boards he's already in the second round, and then it's several other draft boards out there have him right there at the bottom of the first round, and then it's a couple that have him right in the middle of the first round. So we just have to wait and see what happens. And Dante Spraggins, they got Dante's an undrafted free agent. Andre Carrick, undrafted free agent. The last few boards I've observed, Omar Norman Lott is going in the 4th round. and then Omari Thomas, uh, sixth or seventh or undrafted free agent. Dante Thornton, boards I've seen, got him going in the fourth round. Drew McCoy, haven't seen anything with him on it, but I think I still got him going in the fifth or sixth round or undrafted free agent. Same thing with Elijah Simmons. I think he's going to be a seventh rounder or undrafted free agent. Cooper Mays, I haven't seen any boards with him on it. So I'm thinking he's an undrafted free agent. Dylan Sampson, he's going to be a second day, third rounder. He may go even higher than that. John Campbell, I haven't seen any boards with him. And I think he's a undrafted free agent or a seventh rounder. And then, of course, Keelan Peely, I don't know if he ever declared for the draft. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens with him. But with that said, that is the bulk of all the draft eligible players that Tennessee has for this year's draft. And then let's move over to another school. Tennessee State, of course, you know Eddie George left to take the Bowling Green University job last week. And Tennessee State hired a real good replacement. His name is Reggie Barlow. And Reggie is, I'm going to just pop up some clips of him. But that's Reggie getting out of his van. And that's some more pictures of him right there. And showing you who he is. And he talks real well. And he has real good record. He at Alabama State as the head coach, he won 68% of his games, and he won 54% of his games at Virginia State, which is a Division II school, and he's had several real good, successful seasons as the DC Defenders head coach. And as far as playing, he played wide receiver at Alabama State University in Montgomery, Alabama. And then he got drafted in the fourth round by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And he played for Jacksonville and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In fact, he won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he was a kick returner mostly and a wide receiver and punt returner for his pro career. And so I think Tennessee State really did well being able to get a guy like him so quick. And he's going to be able to recruit in Alabama and Georgia and Florida. And he'll be able to recruit in Tennessee. And picking up Reggie Barlow is a big deal for Tennessee State. They're really going to help them stay where they are. Eddie George got them to 9-4. And I think with the addition of Reggie Barlow and what he brings with his HBCU experience, NFL experience, and his pro coaching experience, he's going to keep Tennessee State moving forward. And I'm really happy for Tennessee State. The other big news, it was just announced that Greg Williams has been tabbed by Reggie Barlow to become the new TSU defensive coordinator. that is big news. This guy has a wealth of experience, and he know how to stop folks. He knows how to call defenses. He knows how to set up defenses against any scheme, against any offensive scheme that's thrown his way. And I can tell you, with Greg Williams, this is gonna be a hard defense to score on. And he has just got a wealth of experience, years of experience as a head coach and as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. This will be his first time coming back down to college in years, but he was the defensive coordinator for Reggie Barlow with the DC Defenders. And then, last but not least, Shannon Harris was the OC for Reggie Barlow, and he was a former quarterback at Tennessee State. And so he got the job as the head coach of the DC Defenders. So hats off to him for getting that elevation. And then, of course, to finish up the show, Eddie George, he took Joe Bowden, the linebackers coach and assistant head coach. He took McNutt, the defensive back coach, the defensive line coach Clyde Simmons, and the DC Brandon Fisher, and he also took Travis Partridge, the offensive coordinator. Now, TSU was able to retain the whole entire strength coaching staff, from what I understand, and then some of the support staff stayed and did not go up to Ohio with Eddie George. So that's good news. That's good news all in itself, and that is going to end this show. My next show, I'm going to dig into the top 2025 players. I'm just about done with that list, and I'll be able to show you what I think are the top players in this year's draft. And then before this week's over, I'm going to have my first mock draft out. And just to give you a little teaser, most of the mock drafts I've been looking at has the Tennessee Titans taking a quarterback in Cam Ward. Just to let you know. With that said, that's going to end this show. This is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the double A. God bless each and every one of you out there, and keep the faith during these troubled times. Everything going to work its way out. See you on the next show.